Hello everyone! We've done the main story of Undermined, including the raid, where I decided to, this time around, spend a little bit less time on exploring the place, talking about the raid abilities, in favor of focusing on the story. But then there was Druid of the Talon, who would really like to see the entire thing. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you very much for asking. Despite the best efforts of the United Cartels, Jester Gallywix has hauled himself away in the Galagio and called in every favor ever owed to him, leaving a mountain of would-be oppressors between the goblins of Undermine and the so-called Chrome King. Gaslow and the rest of goblin kinds will need to find a way into the Galagio to rid themselves of Gallywix for good. Dropping in from the Incontinental Hotel, our main base of operations while questing, which now offers all the convenience that we could ask for right within the raid. You can upgrade your items, transmog your gear, get some of the repairs, all the good stuff. It's available without having to go outside. Then the city itself, it becomes a raid. As Gallywix, he still has a few cards left to play.
What now? We bought ourselves time. Now all we need is a...
Calling all cutthroats, mercs, firebugs, and psychopaths. Kill all these goblin cartels. And Undermine's yours to plunder.
Here's water. Come out and play.
Great. New plan. Champions? Take care of her while we check on our cartels.
Mugsy and the Geargrinders caused quite a bit of mayhem in the streets of Undermine, rolling in with one of the deadliest boss intros that we've ever had. The biker gang has been paving a path of terror through the hearts of anyone her gang encounters. Apparently, there is a bit of history between Gallywix and her crew, as they're here to repay an old favor, and they're gonna add new grease stains to Undermine streets.
Break it! Just in time! Ha!
Mugsy and her crew stand mockingly within their fortified tank. It's near impossible for our attacks to get through and do damage to the beast, as fire and oil spills are thrown out. Meanwhile, her biker friends charge through the battlefield. And that's what we can use to our advantage, taking out the ads, leaves behind their bikes, which we can shoot at the tank, while trying to avoid hitting our teammates, of course. Hit the tank enough times and the pit mechanics will come out to do some of the repairs. Up to us to slow them down with interrupting and stunning, while also pumping as much damage as we can into the tank, as it now takes increased damage.
What's in too hot?
Nice work. That's one nuisance out of the way.
Good job, morons. While you were playing with Vexy, my crew was moving in. Thanks for the extra time.
Great. And the Galagio is sealed tight. Clear out Gallywix's cronies and see what can be salvaged. We'll put together something that'll blast the doors off that casino.
Mugsy and the Geargrinders kept us busy, long enough for Gallywix to barricade himself within the Galagio. Even without that, trying to walk up to the front door right now, it would be suicide. We need to get some materials, so that Gaslow and the other cartels, they can make what we need to break through. Which means that we can pick and choose which of the 4 bosses we want to do next. We decided to travel to the Demolition Dome, where fans are already lining up to see the clash of the century. Florendo the Furious versus Torque the Tempest.
It's the tussle of the century, folks! But what's this? Ladies and gents, it appears we have a surprise 3-way battle in the Cauldron of Carnage tonight! Hope they're ready to crumble!
Throughout history, there have been many epic wars, but none more explosive than the rivalry between the galvanic gorilla Torque the Tempest and the molten mechasaur Florendo the Furious. Tonight, all bets are off when these two champions clash in the Cauldron for a showdown that threatens to tear Undermine in two. Witness the carnage or be the shame of goblin kind. We can only hold their attention for so long, until their rivalry has them clash in the middle of the arena. unleashing lightning and fire as they butt heads with each other. The idea behind the fight is that the raid is split between the two bosses, as being near one gives you a stacking debuff and you don't want to be on the same target for too long. When finding the dinosaur, you need to make sure that the bomb that he throws on a random player, that is neatly dropped at the edge of the field, because after soaking the bomb, a pool of fire is left behind, and you're gonna need as much space as you can get. There's also a big ol' beam on a random player that they need to aim away from everyone else and then get out as well once Florendo is locked in. That clash in the middle is the perfect time for the teams to swap sides and fight the other boss. On the monkey, you're now going to be dealing with an electricity bar. The more that you move, and you will have to move to avoid the blue circles, but the more that you move, the more that the bar fills up. At 100 energy, it will stun, which you don't want to happen. Thankfully, just standing still will drop the bar again. Besides that, there are monkey ads that leave a pool on the ground when you touch them. Make sure to stun them or walk away if you can, as again, you're gonna need as much room in the arena as you can get, while killing the bosses roughly around the same time.
And back! We'll be right back after these messages!
Oh, I could hear that crowd from all the way out here. Just don't let the fame go to your heads.
Don't forget to pick up some souvenirs on the way out, as we make our way through the streets towards some hypnotizing sounds. Not even the vermin of Undermine are immune to Rick Reverb, who loves the boom of an explosion, the crackle of a firework, and, most importantly, the sound of his own voice. From his flying sonic resonator, Rick serves as Gallywix's partying promoter by enthralling the citizens of Undermine with addictive and deadly goblin beats.
Rick Reverb here! Time to get down!
Gallywix's hype man amplifies his voice with amplifiers that drop from the sky. We want to avoid the circles they shoot out and make sure to drain them before they fully charge up and start doing a whole lot of damage. Now, of course, no party is complete without fireworks. Super deadly fireworks that need to be destroyed before they go off or will blow up with them. If your DPS hates swapping targets, just let them know that they will get a haste buff for attacking the barrels.
Listen up! We're gonna drop!
At full energy, Ricky encases himself in a sound cloud and becomes untouchable. But that's alright. We'll need to focus on surviving anyways. One of the amplifiers is gonna have a blue circle around it, and it will go haywire. That's where you want to stand, while still dodging those circles on the ground, to then jump over Ricky's blaring drop of the beat. Repeats until he comes down again, and then it's just like before, until either he falls down, or he gets taken over by hype fever, and will start dropping the beat endlessly.
It's after midnight! I got a jet!
Oh, finally, some quiet. I thought that blowhard would never shut up. You have my thanks, champions.
We now travel to the heaps, the junkyard, if you will. But crossing the streets of Undermine is harder than it looks. The new drive system has people go crazy with no regard for the rules of the road, turning anyone caught into roadkill.
Sticks, dig through all that junk you're sitting on and deal with these pests.
Gallywix couldn't whoop you little hooligans? I'll show 'em how we did it in my day.
It could be said that no city service is more essential than garbage collection. Or at least, that's what Styx Bunk Junker would like you to believe. Styx and his cleanup crew have been finding inventive ways to dispose of the city's unwanted and unmentionables for as long as anyone can remember. One of my personal favorite fights in the raid, although it can get quite chaotic. On the field, there's a whole bunch of trash that will get set on fire if the players with the fire debuff stand too close. Burning garbage is not exactly healthy, so we'll want to avoid doing that as much as we can. We do get ways to clean up the battlefield, as we'll be forced to do mechanics and roll around picking up trash Katamari style.
Oh, let's see what I got.
Starting off with 4 small piles, followed by 4 big piles, which will then give us a big ball to throw where we want it. You can, and most definitely need to run into any ads that spawn, besides the bomb crabs, while trying to avoid rolling into your teammates, unless they stole your loot of course. With a big ball, look around to see if any of the bombs need to be destroyed, as those can only be removed with a trash ball hitting it, and letting them go off means you're gonna wipe. If there is no bomb to clear, roll that bad boy into the boss and do a huge amount of damage. Again, try not to hit your teammates, which means that the DPS, they should keep an eye out and make a path available for the ball to reach the boss. If you're not picked for rolling duty, then your job is to get rid of those crab bombs as quickly as you can, as they can't be destroyed by the trash balls. In fact, hitting them with the trash, it has them detonate early, so they should be removed as quickly as you can. Beyond that, keep those ads under control. Try to avoid burning the trash as much as you can. When Styx goes up in the air, he won't take a whole lot of damage, so focus on surviving. And don't get hit when he drops back down.
Clean up this.
That's one less goblin on Gallywix's side. My venture buddies will take over cleanup from here. Thanks.
To the Vetworks we go, where the doors to research and destruction have now opened up.
Eureka! Gallywix is gonna flip when he sees this! Unless he doesn't. Maybe we ought to do some market testing first.
As one of Gallywix's top minds, Sprocketmonger Lockenstock cannot say no to innovation, meaning that his list of inventions stretches far longer than the conveyor belts in his refinery. Constantly looking to simultaneously cut both corners and costs, Lockenstock's always searching for new markets to test out his gadgets. And gadgets is exactly what he throws at us, while our tanks swap and run with explosive packs attached to the backs. On the side of the field, we can see conveyor belts rolling in whatever is going to try and kill us next. We'll have big beams across the battlefield, rockets shoot out, and magnets that are gonna try to pull us in. All later empowered with that delicious black blood that Gallywix's been harvesting. So the beam becomes bigger, the rockets will do splash damage, and I believe the magnets pull in harder now. The floor is also going to be electrified, so we need to move to clear spaces, as those targeted with screw up, they make sure that the screws come on the edge of the field, as at 100 energy, Sprocketmonger is ready for his beta launch.
Hold it right there!
Knocking everyone back, so make sure that you have ground enough behind you to land on. Now the entire field is deadly, except for the conveyor belts, from which traps still roll out and the black blood needs to be dodged. Survive and repeat until Lockenstock can experiment no more.
Not enough juice.
Streets are clear, and we got all the salvage we need. Meet me at the Gallagio. It's time we blow the lid off that joint.
The cartels have put together a stolen tank, which drives like it's stolen, but it does the job. Clears the way as we finally enter the Gallagio.
Ha! Easy as pie. Come on. Gallywix wants a fight? We'll give it to him. Fire in the hole!
Look who made it. Feast your eyes on the Gallagio while you can.
You ready to talk?
What? You think you're gonna yap at me till I roll over? We got games to play, Gazlo!
The interior design of this place is just awesome. And the first time our team went in, we just took a solid chunk of raid time to look around and goof around, have a bit of fun with the slides, realize that there are actual bath bombs, potions that turn you into massive murlocs. We are still underground though, so the beachside view is nothing but a little bit of paint. A beautiful starry sky, but pay a bit closer attention, and the true Goblin repair styles they shine through, as the Gallagio is quite a dump. Even the beautiful heart ceiling has a touch of this is recently painted and not really well done. The water tank is held together with pieces of plates. It is truly a marvel of Goblin ingenuity. This place could so easily be turned into WoW's equivalent of Final Fantasy XIV's Golden Saucer. They could put minigames in here, which the Epilogue quest definitely supports. A way for the doors to remain open permanently and us to return. Play some minigames, earn some prizes, but time is gonna tell.
Go on, place your bets. But I gotta say, your odds don't look so good.
Something tells me this one's rigged.
Let the games begin.
The lucky heart is home to the One-Armed Bandit, the premier slot machine in Gallywix Casino. All this delightful device asks is that you play fairly and don't cheat. The rules by which it determines this are enigmatic mystery, but the one-armed punishment it dispenses cannot be missed.
Big money, big prizes!
It is Gamba time, everybody. Behind the boss are different coin combinations, and the coins spawn in with the free ads. Inserting a certain combo will make the boss do a certain thing, like AoE damage, drop a coil, or spawn in ads. Insert a wrong combo or take too long to do so, and you'll be deemed cheaters and promptly get punished. That is the main DPS thing to deal with. Get the right ads down and get those coins in. Next to that, the slot machine will also spew out chips, and these big ones will give you a buff if you stand close enough to them. Once they're done rolling around, you need to roll them again to get rid of them, remove them from the playfield, as the more chips on the field, the higher the damage of the boss. You can choose to roll the chips through the raid, give them the damage buff again, or just throw them to the side if you want to play a little bit safe. Near the end, 30% health, the slot machine will simply start to cheat to win, and start throwing out his own abilities. There will be a blue line to coils that we need to avoid, red lines that we need to shoot out of the raid. Gold is going to be thrown around until you hit the explosive jackpot, and trust me, it is not a jackpot that you want to win. Destroy the One-Armed Bandit before it explodes.
All badass are...
Hey, Gallywix! Looks like the house don't always win.
Do you have any idea how much that thing cost? I'm gonna take it out of your sorry green hide, Gaslow.
I guess we struck a nerve. Come on.
Cute detail is that if we look at the slot machine, it now has all skulls on it, because it's dead. Up we go to the Tower of Spades, and if you check out the massive water tank, you'll see that a Murloc is swimming with the fishes. We could also get into the tank, but that's all for achievements. Let's focus on Mugsy, cause he is hard enough on his own.
Nobody passes without permission from the boss.
And you don't got permission, ain't that right, Mug?
You got it, see?
Or, well, not just on his own, I suppose. Buddies from the day that they were born, Mugsy's two heads are the topper of a giant hulk of an ogre enforcer, specifically hired by Gallywix to oversee his casino's day-to-day activities. In recent weeks, Mugsy's been reassigned to keep anyone and everyone out of the Galagio's innermost chambers. The two heads work together, and they offer different abilities depending on where the majority of the raid stands within the room. The red-brown carpets, that side is for Mug, where you deal with more elemental abilities, like an earth cage that you need to split the raid for, soak it and then kill the ad. Slippery footing and lightning fingers, while the tank has to run away all covered in gold. Then the metal floor, that's for Z, where you deal with more mechanical gadgets and abilities, like robot ads, mines, volunteer rocketeers that are dropping in from the sky. That gun that he's holding is not just for show, with the tanks needed to jump in and take the bullets for the teammates. Meanwhile, his energy bar and buffs is charging. That's why we swap sides, as doing so it empties out the bar, preventing Mugsy from doing some serious damage, until eventually he pops Bloodlust, goes absolutely ham with combining his different abilities, but not even that is enough to stop us from getting to Gallywix.
Pleasure working with you. See ya in the next life, pal.
What's next, Gallywix?
Ooh, someone's getting cranky. You wanna oust me? Keep going. I'll see you soon enough.
Gallywix! It doesn't have to end here!
Oh, save me the mush! The Horde made you soft!
I'm not being soft. I'm offering you a way out!
You don't make the offers. I do. Now watch and learn how a real goblin takes charge.
And there he stands, Chrome King Gallywix, nice and snug within his mech that he can upgrade with a nice set of legs. The fight is a lot about dodging the bad, red explosives, blue lightning, while you also want to soak the black bloods, which is the purple blasts and the purple containers. Around the room are massive coils that Gallywix will activate, which we don't want. But luckily, he also has technicians dropping in. They carry bombs that we can use to blow up the coils. And again, from what I could tell, it was a lot of soaking and a lot of dodging.
Worthless hunk of junk!
Hey, hold on!
It's not over till I say it's over. And I always win!
Look out!
Huh? Ah! Let's get out of here.
That's gruesome.
Yeah, could have been any of us.
I don't believe that. None of you are... what Gallywix was.
So, what now?
We rebuild this place. We start cleaning up the mess he made. And eventually, we make the world recognize and respect us.
All right, I can get behind that.
Good plan.
We've got your back if you've got ours.
Always.
I was kind of wondering if they were going to do something with placing Gallywix in a diamond-themed room. We have the one-armed bandit in the Hearts room. Mugsy is in the Tower of Spades. It would have been fitting to have the King of Diamonds with the King of Diamonds line from Il'gynoth, as it could apply to Gallywix as well.
The King of Diamonds has been made a pawn.
We do have Azhara outright explaining that the King of Diamonds, Magni, he was made into a pawn. But who's to say that they couldn't apply the whisper to multiple things? And if it does apply to Gallywix, could that mean that the Ethereals that now hold the Dark Heart, do they have some kind of connection to Il'gynoth and the Void? We're not sure about their allegiance or their motivations. For all we know, Xal'atath was actually trying to work against Dimensius, and these Ethereals are actually working for him, now in possession of the Dark Heart, which Xal'atath was planning to use against Dimensius. But that is all very much speculation. In this moment, right here, the Chrome King has been brought low, with Gaslow confirming that he truly is gone. But they also say that Gallywix always has his backup plans, his escape plans. Tazavesh has been mentioned in the epilogue questline. Tazavesh being a location that we visited during the Shadowlands. Could Gallywix perhaps have been busy getting his ducks in a row within the afterlife? Did he set up plans in case heroes were going to take him out? Who is to say? Only time will tell, I suppose. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed a bit of a deeper dive into Liberation of Undermine. If so, make sure that you're subscribed, as there are new videos at least every Monday. And with that, on to next time. See ya!